Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 books that I want to read this summer. So if you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you know that my goal of 2018 is to take down my TBR. I think I've done a really good job at that, so I'm hoping kind of mid-summer is when I kind of finish the ones that have been on my shelf for a while, and then then I'll be able to kind of read the other ones that I've been more interested about and that are more recent purchases for me. So here I do have one new release that'll be coming out in August, and then 3 of them are the ones that I've kind of purchased recently since like Christmas and all that, and then one that's been on my shelf for a while. So I think it has a good variety of ones in here, and they're kind of all different genres. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So this is probably the one that I'm most excited about, and it is The Distant Hours by Kate Morton. And if you guys have been watching from my channel for a while, you know I'm a huge Kate Morton fan, and this is her only published book that I haven't read yet. And she has a new book coming out in October, so I'm like, this is perfect timing for me to finish all her other works. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I'm thinking of actually making this the Tales and Teacups book club pick for July and August, so if you're interested in that, let me know down below. But basically I'll kind of read the back here, but so it says, Eddie was an only child of respectable if dull parents who, when she was growing up, did little to nurture her natural love of words or mystery. But now a letter that should have been delivered 50 years earlier arrives for her mother and sends Eddie on a journey into the past. It takes her to Middlehurst Castle, a great but mouldering old house in Kent, where the Blythell spinsters live, and where she discovers her mother was billeted as a 13-year-old child during World War II. The elder Blythell sisters are twins and have spent most of their lives looking after the third and youngest sister, Juniper, who hasn't been the same since her fiancé jilted her in 1941. Inside the decaying castle, Eddie begins to unravel her mother's past, but there are other secrets hidden in the stones of Middlehurst. The truth is, what happens in the distant hours of the past has been waiting a long time for someone to find it. So I think this one will be really interesting. I love how it has a World War II connection. There's like a mystery, and Kate Morton's very good at building a very atmospheric world, so I'm really excited. And this one is a little bit long, but I think it's like a perfect summer read. I can already see myself reading this on the back porch on Sunday, and I'm really excited to be picking this one up. Like I said, if you're interested in this being a book club pick, please let me know, because that's what I'm kind of leaning towards. So this was one that I got for Christmas and I'm really excited about. I read the sequel and I ended up doing a kind of vlogging this experience, so I'll link it up in the cards if I can find it. And the book that I read was Sapiens, and so this is like the sequel to that, and it is Homo Deus, A Brief History of Tomorrow by Yuval Noah Harari. So Sapiens kind of covers how we evolved the way that we are and just how we ended up being the humans that we know today, and this kind of is looking into the future and like how like war is. So it says, war is obsolete, you're more likely to commit suicide than be killed in conflict, famine is disappearing, you're more at risk of obesity than starvation, death is just a technical problem, equality is out but immortality is in, what does the future hold? This is the next stage of evolution. So I'm really excited about this. I double majored in my undergrad and one of them was anthropology, so like this is totally up my alley and I'm like so excited. This one is not as heavy as the other one that was like 5 pounds, but I think this one will be really interesting, and I really enjoyed Sapiens, so I have high hopes in this, and just seeing what he thinks humans will be evolving towards I think will be really interesting, so I'm really excited for this one. This was a book that I ended up getting at Christmas as well, and I'm really excited. I've been holding out on this, and like that's been part of my motivator. Once I finish my TBR, I can pick it up, and it is The Alice Network by Kate Quinn, and this is another World War II historical fiction, which I am a big buff for. And basically it says here, 1947, in the chaotic afternoon of World War II, American college girl Carly St. Clair is pregnant, unmarried, and on the verge of being thrown out of her very proper family. She's also nursing a desperate hope that her beloved cousin Rose, who disappeared in Nazi-occupied France during the war, might still be alive. So when Charlie's parents banish her to Europe to have her little problem taken care of, Charlie breaks free and heads to London, determined to find out what happened to her cousin she loves like a sister. So then it also says, in 1915, a year into the Great War, Evie Gardner burns to join the fight against the Germans and unexpectedly gets a chance when she's recruited to work as a spy. Sent into enemy-occupied France, she's trained by the memorizing Lily, codenamed Alice. The queen of spies who manages the vast network of secrets against right under the enemy's nose. 30 years later, hunted by the betrayal that ultimately tore apart the Alice network, Evie spends her days drunk and secluded in her crumbling London house. That is until a young American barges in, uttering the name Eve hasn't heard in decades, and launches them both on a mission to find the truth no matter where it leads. So I think this one is so interesting how it covers basically both world wars. I'm just really excited for this one, and my aunt has read this and she says she loved it, so I have really high hopes for this one. So this is the one that has been on my shelf for a while, and I've heard Reagan over at Peruse Project talk about this one, this series in general, so I think summer would be a good time to kind of start this one and see if it's something that I like. And it's Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder. So I think basically the premise of it is about this girl who is kind of sentenced, is going to be executed for murder, and then she gets basically a deal. She can be the one that tests the king's meal for poison, and all of that stuff. So I kind of want to go into this blind, not knowing too much, so I think that's just the general premise that I think I need to know going into this, and maybe you, if you're interested. But I heard her, Reagan said she really loved this and she like marathon through them, so I'm really interested to see. I haven't read a YA series in a long time, I don't think at all this year, so I will be really interested to see where I fall in this one. And finally, the last book that I have here is one that's coming out in early August. I'm really excited about it, and it is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, and this is kind of a spin-off series to the Remnant Chronicles, which is probably one of my favorite trilogies of all time. I loved it. So I think this one, again, I don't want to know too much about this one, I just know I'm really excited about it, and I think basically the premise of it is that it takes place in the Remnant Chronicle world, but that's all I want to know about it. So I'm sorry I'm being vague here, but this is like for my own sake, because I just want to go into it blind, because I know I just want to be back in this world again, and this was like one of my favorite, like I said, one of my favorite series, so I'm going to be excited to be back in this world, and I love Mary E. Pearson's writing, so I'm really happy about that. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what books you plan on reading this summer, and if you've read any of these, what you thought about them, and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.